Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Decimal Point Analytics Unplugged. I'm Kshitija Deolkar, and today we are going to cover the topic that's redefining index operations. Joining me today is Josey Philip. He's an expert in data operations and automation. So, welcome, Josey.
Hi Shida, thank you for having me.
Josey, let's get started with the basics. Could you explain me what is an index and what do you mean by index operations?
Simply put, okay, any index is a reference point or a benchmark. Okay, it is created to measure the performance of other parameters, securities, or portfolio as the case may be. So, stock market is an example. Okay, it's in a similar manner. It is providing a performance for measuring the asset class, okay, or asset manager's performance. So in case of passive indexing, okay, passive indexing, what happens is like the index portfolio is taken as the portfolio of the fund portfolio. Okay, the fund manager just need to replicate the existing constituents for the fund assets, for the index constituents assets for the fund. So indices are basically it's a rule-based selection happening. Okay, in case of selection of constituents, in case of index. Okay, so that is when index operation team comes into picture. Okay, so index operation teams concern it's includes, okay, there will be a team of people who will be working on product development. Okay, they will be product development, methodology development, and there will be a team dedicated for checking and backtesting the methodology which is created with the product team, and there will be a team who will be handling the data on a daily basis.
Yeah, so that sounds interesting, Josie. So before we get into the index operations in detail, can you please explain why it is important to establish a clear methodology?
Methodology is like a backbone for the index creation. Okay, so it's like if without a proper catered methodology, if you're going to index creation, it's like we are going into dense forest without a proper map with you. Okay, the methodology outlines the selection criteria. Okay, and the rules for the indices. Okay, and it will give a broader idea for the whoever is looking into the index. He will get a broader idea. Okay, what is a framework to understand the index and who's its constituents to understand how the selection criteria has happened. So, index methodology will help the person to understand that.
Okay, interesting. Now, once the methodology is defined, how do you approach data collection and preparation?
So, once we develop the methodology, okay, then what happens is like backtesting happens. Okay, so once the backtesting is done, then we will have pure. We clearly know what all data points we require. All those things will be clear. Then we reach out to different data vendors. We take the data from them. Okay. Then you use statistical and other QC methods to determine the data quality. Okay, so we use around three at the moment. We use around three different sources, but there are certain case index products they use more in case of so they collect data from more sources. So when we do in QC, okay, if we find it is discrepancies, okay, we do troubleshooting. That troubleshooting will go to the source, okay, from where we are collecting the data. We will collect the data, and we have a defined SOP to check the in descriptions in the data. Okay, the process is highly automated. Okay, and we make sure there is minimal human intervention to avoid any manual error. Okay, and
Okay.
so yeah.
Okay, sounds good. So, automation seems to be a game changer in many areas, but how does it streamline index operation process?
Yeah. So as I mentioned before, okay, so for each methodology that we create, okay, it's not like once we draft it, we directly use it. First, we have to backtest those methodologies. So initially, it used to take a lot of time, okay, because we had to do multiple backtesting with the multiple parameters. So at that it was taking time. So in DPA, we have a automated backtesting tool. Okay. So with that, it's earlier it used to days to do backtesting. Now it is taking hours to do backtesting. Okay. So automation solved that time lagging issue. So we are able to test multiple test cases on a single day. Okay, apart from this, there are many reports. Okay, it's once we done with the index calculations. Okay, there are reports required, there are facts required. So all those things are also automated. Okay, and using automation, helping, uh, so we are reducing all the manual tasks using automation. So team can focus on qualities part of the index.
Okay, got it. So once the index is created, what steps do you take to test and validate it before moving it to production?
Okay, so actually it's happens in the other way around. Okay, so before even creating the index or before even going to production, okay, what we do is like we are doing multiple backtesting. Okay, permutation combination we are doing. Okay, and once the backtesting results are validated, okay, methodology is drafted, then it's easy to go to the production.
Okay. Okay. So, while doing this, what are the common challenges that you face and how do you overcome that?
So, in case of index, okay, data is very key. Okay, data is playing the key role in index creation. There's a minor error in the data, it can have a huge impact in the outcome. Okay, data collection and validation is the biggest challenge in index creation. Okay, we have to analyze hundreds of securities, daily prices, corporate actions, of multiple years. It's not just 1 or 2 days. Okay, when we're doing, when we're starting, okay, we have to do it for multiple years. So data collection and validation is the you know major challenge in case of index creation.
Okay. Shruti, any thoughts on the future trends with respect to index creation?
So technology is driving significant improvements today. Okay, so there are certain things. So the one seems to be very impossible. It's possible due to technological improvement. Okay, so if you notice comparing to the past, okay, companies are coming with custom indices. Okay, what I was seeing is like Subway is giving an option to customize a person to have his sandwich based on his customization. Same like companies may give option to the customer. He can come and say that okay, these are my ingredients, so these are the data points I need. Based on this data point, I need to select the companies. Okay, and any customer can come and customize his own index. That kind of flexibility we can expect in the future. So we have to just wait and see what is gonna come.
Okay. So thank you, Josie. Thank you for joining us today and thank you for these insights. It's been a pleasure having you on the show.
Thank you, Ushit. Thank you for having me.
And thanks to all our listeners for tuning in to Decimal Point Analytics Unplugged. We hope you found this discussion insightful and stay tuned for our next episode as we continue to explore the latest in data and technology trends.